Yo, what up, my boy?
My dude, how you doing? Scotch, baby.
Better now.
There we go. This is another episode of Fisticuffs, a podcast about fighting and other stuff. Brought to you today by my remaining bottle of Jura Scotch whiskey.
Brought to you in part by alcoholism.
Yes. And we have a new addition today, Heaven's Door. It is co-owned by Bob Dylan and developed by Bob Dylan. So it's really fucking good.
How great would it be
If Bob Dylan learned MMA.
I was going to say if he sold drugs. Bob Dylan.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a rapper name.
Yeah, dude.
That is for sure a great rapper name.
Bro, I put it on for you the right way. I knew you were going to fucking put it on a different way. Have it sliding around, nigga. I knew it. Bro. As long as you're comfortable, I don't give a shit, you know. But
did you do it? You did it on the
yeah,
shirt.
turn it sideways. Pink shirt. There you go.
There we go.
Brought to you in part by alcoholism.
Yeah. Has anyone ever walked out to Bob Dylan? I assume so. There's been
like a walkout
thousands
song.
of fights.
That sounds like some Mayhem Miller shit. If there was ever somebody to have done it, it would have been him.
I feel like he'd walk out to some weird weeboo shit.
Mayhem Miller would walk out to like the sound of an orgy happening.
He would do that.
He was such a character.
Oh, he's arrested now.
Yeah.
For pooping in a church, I think.
Really?
Or he got
Chicago sunroof?
Is that what?
He pulled a Chicago sunroof in a church?
What did he do? He fucking got plastered and then just like ruined a church in Orange County, I think.
Dang, man.
Yeah.
God help that man. I loved Bully Beat Down.
Who did it?
Bully Beat Down was amazing.
That was a great show.
Came at the right time.
Remember the Elvis guy? The Elvis bully?
Mm-mm.
He was a fat dude with like a pompadour and he worked in like a tire shop.
I would never, bro.
And he was the bully
by a pompadour.
And he got fucked up, and I think it was like Eddie Alvarez fucked him up.
Eddie Alvarez. Imagine rolling with fucking Eddie Alvarez and you don't know shit about wrestling.
Yeah. There were so many people on that show.
Nah, bro. I remember this fight very clearly. There was this guy who kept saying he was going to put the poison in people or take the poison out of people.
That was like the last episode of the series because that was Miller.
Wasn't that the dude that threw up? Did he make him like vomit?
A couple of them vomited. But he was like fucking the dude's sister.
Yeah.
And then Man's like, I'm going to beat the fuck out of her.
I'm going to fuck the venom out of her, bro. He was serious about that venom shit. And he got beat the fuck up.
You know that guy's probably into like some fucking Jordan Peterson shit now.
Bro, yeah, bro. He's on some... Bro, listen. Because like... The way Mayhem Miller fucked him up too, it was really just a sight to behold. Like
he made him look silly. It was great.
He was a silly. He was like literally Bugs Bunny the entire time. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna fight. What's gonna happen?"
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to just lay this gauntlet on this poor kid that just don't know shit about fighting. Thought he knew, bro. What a fucking hilarious show
I think
too.
The best thing about that show it was before everyone knew what MMA was. Or anyone like it's before combat sports or mixed martial arts became popular.
Bro, this is what it was.
Yeah, it was only just like people would watch kickboxing stuff. America has a long kickboxing history. But like the MMA stuff, you know, that the whole MMA is cockfighting thing, like that was up until like maybe the end of last decade.
People still believe that shit, bro.
People still believe it, but like
people still that. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's become very popular and slightly homogenized now.
Yeah, it was a lot more stigmatized back in the day.
Even and they had more. I think they had more stars back in the day because there's less people, but there was also like you kind of bring out the weirdos. So you had Chuck and you had Tito.
Back in the day, there were less rules. less rules, like less
Oh
competent
yeah, I mean
refs.
like you mean like back when it started in the '90s?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you
In the
could punch
beginning,
somebody in the dick. Yeah.
like their beginnings were like low key ringling circus levels of
Who
martial arts.
was the guy who was second? He was like the French kickboxer. That dude was a piece of shit. Like he was like doing a bunch of eye gouges and shit like that. I think eye gouges weren't allowed in the rule set, but he was still doing it.
Yeah, bro. I mean, if the ref ain't gonna call it,
Mm-hmm.
imagine you're getting your ass whipped and you just start poking the guy in the his eyes, and the ref just act like he don't see it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep doing it. Captain Nathaniel throws no mercy. You know what I'm saying? It's very dishonorable as a fighter,
Yeah.
But
But it was starting out, so I don't think
yeah,
they gave
like
a shit about honor.
yeah, but
Yeah.
back then it wasn't about honor. It was
Yeah.
about like your time in the spotlight, and
My shit's better than your shit.
the
I mean, have you
Gracies took that shit and ran with it, bro.
seen all like the stuff that's come out, like all the articles, and like there's like a documentary about how it was kind of designed for the Gracies to win.
I mean, I don't know about designed.
I mean, they
I feel,
gave like supposedly it was supposed to be Hickson was supposed to be the one to compete,
yeah,
and then I forgot why he didn't do it. But then it was like
it was still a tough group of
it
gentlemen.
was still a tough group, but they like I forgot what it was. They like set the bracket in a way where it was like the most advantageous for Royce, and like they like the family was part of setting it up.
To be honest, I
Yeah.
can see that they were a big name in martial arts back in the day. One, so their thumb on the scale makes sense. Two, like that dude was a accomplished Vale Tudo fighter by that time. Like
They were
he'd already had fights.
yeah, they were slightly popular, but then that made everybody
Yeah,
not even
that
not
was the
at that point,
difference.
but everyone was like, "Oh, I guess this jujitsu shit works."
They were big in
Yeah.
Brazil already.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's Brazil.
Yeah, they had like the what do they call it in the book? The mega mansion or something like that.
Yeah.
They called it something crazy.
I forgot what they call it.
Casa de Hugo or something. Some cool little Spanish name that made
Yeah.
their house sound like it was big as fuck.
Yeah.
So they were a mainstay for a while, and like Loki that cemented it because it was like they gave you the full range of motherfuckers to expect.
Yeah.
They had a 400-pound guy. They had like a 100-pound guy. Like every body type got a chance to taste jujitsu,
And it became big in the fight
know,
realm, but now if you like 2023, you look all around, everyone knows what MMA is. You got kids starting jujitsu at like 5,
yeah,
all that shit. I remember it's because my uncle,
it's low key because we
yeah,
late though,
yeah,
because they've been doing that shit in other worlds. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
my uncle
Other
started
countries.
in the '90s because he was a Marine, um, and so he started in the '90s, and like he got stationed all over the place, and he trained with the Israeli Special Forces, all this like shit. Um, but he started doing that in the '90s because he was like more into the fight stuff than I was. I was already doing Taekwondo, but he knew like all of the stuff. He had all the UFC like the first ones on VHS and stuff. So he was doing it, and I remember talking to was it his mother? Is that my great like aunt or something like that? I don't know what that's considered. Whatever it is.
Your uncle's mother.
Yeah,
It's your grandma.
it is my grandma. Okay. Okay.
I mean,
I
right?
get yeah.
That's
So
like
that grandma, I remember like because we used to go over to that house all the time, and I remember her saying, like, "Your Uncle Riddle's into this fight stuff. I think it's really bad." And it was still back in the time where they're like, "Oh, this is for like
meatheads and
no,
gorillas.
not even that." It was just like I was like, "Is this like a gang thing?" Like
Yeah.
that's what they thought. They're like, "Oh, this is like kind of this is not only dangerous. It feels kind of like I'm gonna turn into a murder or something." And now there's a Gracie Barra like everywhere you go. There's some sort of jujitsu,
Shout out to Gracie Baja Long Beach.
some sort of jujitsu place every town, anywhere you go.
I mean, it works.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And like the thing, and I've trained a lot of different martial arts. Like the thing that they do that like besides it like working empirically is like that they test it consistently.
yeah,
Like you're rolling in a gym with other guys that know their shit and are also strong, so you can't be beating everybody up with power or strength. Like you have to eventually learn the technique. And like You don't get that in most karate gyms,
Yeah.
where it's like, there's a little bit of that ambivalence to striking, where it's like this head kick might knock him out, or he may duck it, and now you got swept. Whereas like in grappling, you get that control, and control means control.
Yeah.
And punching is like control the ring means don't get hit,
Yeah.
hit him, corral his movement. You know what I'm saying? But like, unless you're a master fighting like a clown, there's no real way to say that 100% you're going to be able to control him with every one of your shots.
Yeah. Jiu-jitsu.
It's fun. It's a little gay though.
Yeah.
Sweating in people's mouths, getting hair in your fucking. They don't talk about that shit in the commercials, but let me tell you, getting
Yeah.
somebody else's hair in your mouth is fucking disgusting.
A lot of
Never gets young.
tan on face action.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I did that to somebody, and like I'm huge, so it was like I felt bad, so I moved, and like I lost the dominant
There's
position.
a lot of musk involved.
Yeah,
in
man.
jiu-jitsu.
It's pretty. It gets deep, but I'll tell
You
you
can
what.
keep that. I got to worry about the joints.
Yeah, the joints.
Yeah.
It's not good on the joints. My knees hurt right now. My back is killing me, but it's good.
I watched a documentary, like a YouTube documentary on like sports therapy, or like sports massage, whatever that stuff is, like the deep tissue shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that looked like a horror movie. Watching it, because they showed it.
Pinching the fucking wings
No,
of your scapula and
they
then
put
pulling it.
like the dude would put his thumb in like there's like the side of their abs, and you'd see the thumb go all the way in. Or they like, and I've had this one done to me, but not to this degree, where they get the elbow and they go in like underneath your shoulder blade.
Mm-hmm.
The place I go to on Cerritos, they do that, and it hurts like a bitch. It's so painful. Like it could be torture to some people. It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad that there are sometimes where it's like, if you don't tell them to like cool it when they start out and they start out hard, it's like, I think I might pass out. That's how much it sucks. But then you feel great the next day.
Did I tell you about that old Asian man I met at the rodeo?
Yeah.
Bro.
You tell me this all the time, and I'm so fucking jealous.
I'll never forget that old Asian man.
It was a dude from Big
America.
Trouble Little China. Is a magician.
Bro, so America, I don't know if I told y'all this story, but I'm gonna tell it again because fuck it, I love telling this story. Because it was like a real life anime moment, dog. Like I was sitting there with my body pain, fresh out of like 2-a-days in football, 6'4" and sad, just big fat stiff dude, shoulders tight, and this Asian man was standing in front of a massage little booth. Said $20 for an hour. It was a good deal, but I was like, fuck it, I got shit to do, right? Walks up to me. I didn't look like I looked at him for like maybe half a second. It's not like I did anything to make him walk up to me. Just seeing me, walked up to me, grabbed my shoulder, head, cracked my fucking shoulder and my back with just a hand on it. Just pack. And I was like, all right, motherfucker, let's see where we're good. We were like, you just cracked my shit up with just a hand, so I know you're gonna fuck me up. Let's do it. I go into that place, man. He's turning me into a pretzel. He's putting jujitsu moves on me and shit. I'm in a Boston crab. He breaks my fucking, cracks all the fucking joints between my hip and my lower back. And then the next day I go back for him and he's gone. I still get sad. He hasn't been back since. I was like, was he real? It wasn't a dream because I was
How long ago
awake.
was this?
Bro, this happened in high school, nigga. So like
This is a while ago.
2009, 2010. I was
Might have
just
been
getting used to helmet.
Might have been a spirit imparted the last of his chi into you.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I think about that dude a lot because like, why did he pick me? And like, how did he crack my back by just putting his hand on it?
There was some like, I don't know how much I believe in it, because some of it seems like some bullshit.
Talking about that dude that lives in the mountains and fucking starts fires with his hands.
No, like ancient Chinese medicine shit.
I mean,
Like I don't know how much I believe in like acupuncture, even though a bunch of people told me it works. I can maybe understand the science behind it, but it also sounds like bullshit.
I mean, if a placebo effect works,
Yeah.
then it's magic, right? Or
I mean,
it's
there's
medicine.
Yeah, there's a. I mean, people say the same thing about chiropractic, and
Yeah,
that shit
same.
works for me. So
That's what I'm saying. And like
Yeah.
to anybody that doesn't believe that the impact is real, it's a placebo effect.
Yeah.
But if you believe in the placebo, it's not a placebo no more. That shit's Advil.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've heard, but plenty of people credit like acupuncture being the thing that like got them through certain amounts of pain. Some
Yeah.
people credit it to quitting smoking, and you know what I really
Yeah.
believe?
What?
I think people just want shit,
Yeah.
and then like we're so powerful mentally
Yeah.
that once we cling to something mentally, it gives us the thing that we want, and then we credit it.
I mean, that's like iron egg.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's like that kung fu shit where they like make you have balls of steel and then just like kick you in the dick.
Yeah, you gotta lock out. You gotta.
That's all. That has to be
the
in
mind, bro.
here.
Like
'Cause you
niggas
can-
that
I
bathe
mean,
in ice, like niggas
yeah.
that fucking sit there and sit in the sauna for hours. You know,
Yeah.
like
You know, mind over matter. You do the
iron
like.
egg. Fuck that.
It's a great name though. Iron egg.
Iron egg. What are you gonna do with those
I don't know.
besides not get kicked in the nuts?
What if it like increases like thrusting velocity?
Why would it? They say so stagnant.
I don't fucking know. I'm just thinking of something.
It like the only thing.
What if it did? What was that was a side effect, and then you were like
like
with
it's
your
hitting with
lady,
hyperthrusts?
and like you go for it, and you just like launch her into the roof.
Jesus Christ! I would imagine you just get the ability to
stupid.
control the PSI, like the pressure of it. Like you can like narrow and widen the urethra. So you're just like shooting bullets, just pew, pew, pew. They come out sounding like lasers. Boom, boom.
Like, what was that?
You hear kids yelling.
Yeah.
Ah. It's the sperms, baby. Yeah, dude.
It hits the egg. He comes out. He's a fucking commando.
Shoot the holes through the fucking egg, bro. Just Gatling fire.
You're bringing out Navy SEALs at that point. Those
Yeah,
kids
bro.
are gonna be like the roughest.
Them shits are tadpoles with arms. They're climbing up to the beach of the egg, like we're gonna storm the bay, boys. One of us is getting out of here. Hope it's me.
You know what? One time I did go to like an old school Chinese medicine place because it was also chiropractor. Convoy Street, San Diego. I don't know if it's still there. But like old school. It very much was. Have you seen Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's like that dude, the old dude. He has like the fucking pots full of eyeballs and shit.
Mhm.
Like it was all that sort of shit. And then same thing. Did it like it did to you? Just put one hand right here, and the other hand just took the same side, like the shoulder blade, and just went like this. And you know, like hypothetically, like when you're on a come up from like certain drugs, you kind of just feel like
That rush of euphoria.
And I was like, oh my god, what just happened? Like, is this an
That nigga
increase
had a
in
needle
blood
in
flow?
his needle in his wrist, bro. Hit you with that opiate.
I was like, what is this? This is incredible. And you know it's incredible because you don't stop smiling. You're just like, oh, this is fucking great. And then they're like, sit down. We're gonna do more.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
But then you get addicted to that shit. That's the problem with that kind of fucking holistic medicine. It's the same kind of addiction you get. But it's better for you, I guess, as long as it doesn't cost a lot of money.
Yeah. It's not, it's not like a drug. And it's like a drug in that is addictive, but it's not like a drug in that'll affect you physically or mentally.
Long term, yeah. As long as
because it's good, because that's preventative, and then what you need to do is once you do that, you need to maintain that by stretching and by doing all the other whatever shit.
How many white people, addicted to that Reiki bullshit?
Can we talk about that?
I mean, I think my girl does it, so maybe not.
Dude, we're in Long Beach, which is in LA County, Southern California. White women love that shit, man. And I've dated plenty of white women, and there has not been one that hasn't been into that.
Yeah, dude, energies and
tarot and
the fucking
not the root that they use for the food, which is delicious, but the card, which is stupid.
But again, it's the same kind of thing, right? Where it's like, I'm sure people are having legitimate experiences from this thing. So to us, it's like a placebo, but to them, it's like, well, I took the thing and I made it.
Yeah, but how is that beneficial to them? Because like the placebo that we're talking about,
enlightenment, I guess, I don't know,
physical. So like you still like when you go to a chiropractor and they do like little, bing bang boom, and then you're just like, oh, I feel like physically great, and my muscles don't hurt, and I've been all this shit. When they do like a tarot reading or whatever, that's just like, oh, my boyfriend really does love me, and it's like, no,
That
he
shit.
doesn't. He
I mean, you know, but they hear it and it makes them feel better.
yeah, but it's still
That's
stupid.
it's good for them. I don't, it ain't for
it's
me.
it's yeah. I mean, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
It's
Like I
just,
could agree with that. It is very stupid though.
it's just like you
More
know.
views. I you know what I part of it for me is um just our proximity to it. There are so many women that are into that shit, and just people in general are into that shit, and I think it's really stupid. And I don't want to deal with those people because they don't shut the fuck up about it.
I'm interested in those people, man. I
I
just want
don't
to.
fucking get it,
I
dude.
want to know the path. That's why I'm interested. I just want to know, like, how did we get here?
How do you get into it?
How do we get here? What do you get from it, and how much of it is real and measurable?
There's like a big difference between like spiritual enlightenment and like quickie mart like religiosity.
Yeah, I don't like the weaponization of capitalism in any regard. Like, the moment it feels like you're beating down my door to like sell me something, I'm already like off put.
And also that shit's all it's all super expensive. Like if it was really about enlightenment, you would just you'd do that shit for free. Or you if you were really about like energies and like making the world like evolving the world spiritually or whatever, you do that shit for free. But it's like a big business. That shit's super expensive to like go to a tarot reader or whatever. It's expensive to get the shit. Crystals are bullshit. Crystals are just rocks, but it's like some
You never
energy.
grabbed a rock and got hard on or nothing
Nah. I mean,
connected to the
you get a
spirit,
rock and like it's a cool ass rock when you're like 8.
bro. Maybe that's why. Maybe your spirit was telling you this rock meant something. Maybe
That's dumb as hell.
you know. Maybe somebody licked that rock and they're like, you know.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know what they got.
there's some fucking salt in this
That
rock.
shit tasted a little sour. You know, they got like a sour rock, and now they fucking praise the sour rock.
And then that's how they made their heads.
Bro, the crazy part is that people like worship a flying spaghetti monster. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a joke, but
Is
yeah.
it?
The flying spaghetti monster
It's a
was
joke
like,
to some niggas, I'm sure, but like, you don't think that there are some radical niggas that are really buying into the doctrine? I mean, what about Xenu?
I
I
mean,
don't want
like
to go too far.
it was to
Get
prove
canceled, but
a point. So like when they had all that new atheist shit, it was like
initially, right?
like when Richard Dawkins was like, I'm British, and like I came up with the term meme,
But
and
then
he's
what
like,
happens when the flat earthers take that shit and run
yeah,
with it?
he's like, fuck God, and then somebody was like, you know what, God really is akin to something like the flying spaghetti monster because you can't prove it and it's ridiculous, but people still believe in it. And so like it came about as a joke, but there are instances like, yeah, if you believe in Scientology, like Thetan's in a volcano and the volcano explodes and some bullshit. And if you had to pay thousands of dollars to go out in the middle of the ocean to awaken your powers and you get to level 8 and then you could like control people with your mind. And funnily enough, no one's ever hit level 8. And they took out Tom Cruise on a boat in the Atlantic or whatever for like 2 weeks. And then they come back and he's like, he's just not evolved enough yet. And he paid how much money to like try to get those powers? No one's ever getting those powers. Everyone knows that. This is just for to convince themselves of the delusion, to continuously convince themselves of the delusion. Even the guy, Miss Cabbage, or whoever the president is right now, his own, like, he disavowed his own father because his dad was like, it's kind of bullshit. You know that, right? He's like, nope. And so he, like, kicked his own father out for trying to be a father to him. And he said, I'm going to run this shit. I'm going to wear baggy, ugly suits. And I'm going to run this shit. And we're just going to do whatever the fuck we want.
You don't think anybody believes in that shit for real?
No, people totally believe that shit.
You know
for
what I'm
real.
saying? That's who I'm talking about. Because, like, obviously,
Yeah.
there are the people that use it to skate around the system. People you do that with any religion, Catholicism, Christianity.
People believe. People truly believe in all sorts of bullshit.
But like, all right, so this is let's really like hone in on it here.
How do
Like
you like this? I fucking love this stuff.
the second one's definitely better.
Yeah. Well, this is Scotch. This is yeah. This is thank you, Bob Dylan. Thank you for
Bob Dole,
great bourbon.
appreciate your service. Bob Dole, he's here to tell you. What was I talking about, nigga? You made me lose my train of thought.
Religion. People who believe in bullshit.
Choo choo. I feel like belief is kind of like the spice of life, right?
Yeah.
In a sense that like, without belief, you're empty. And like,
Yeah.
if you like believing in nothing is still believing in something. You know what I'm saying? Like without some kind of belief driving your purpose forward, kind of feels like life is meaningless to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's
You need
strange the
something
forms
to
that it take.
establish your. You need something as your rock. You need something to establish your
being,
your being,
your
yeah.
corporeal nature.
And
shit.
so, like, I don't. I mean, you know, when you're a kid and you're like, oh, I read all the books. I read Sam Harris. I did all that shit. And you want to be all edgy and shit. So, like, you know, we all went through that. I'm in my 30s now, so I see religion, and I'm like, I get it. You know, if you like, you need something, and if you're on the planet, you don't fucking understand anything. It's like, oh, you know, what I got maybe 70 years here. That's like the average for at least men. It's like 70 something. It's like I should have something to believe in, or at least something to do on a Sunday or whatever. Like
pass down to your kids.
Let me connect with these people and go to the bake sale on Sundays.
Help you cope with the void.
Yeah.
A lot of motherfuckers can't handle the void.
Yeah.
I've seen the void destroy lives, relationships.
It gets creepy. That's why it's
scary shit.
There is things too where like people are more. I feel like it's a more modern thing where people are more like willing to accept that as an idea, which I kind of believe. I believe in, like, I don't know what's after this. It's probably nothing, and it is, but it's scary.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
You know what makes me sleep at night?
What you got?
I think that we operate on the third law of thermodynamics. And
which one is that one again?
The soul is energy.
Energy is neither created nor destroyed. Is that the third?
Yeah, I do believe so. Could be wrong. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. That's what niggas on YouTube say. Yeah. Well, yeah, because like if energy can't be created or destroyed, right? And the soul is energy. Now I've been reading a lot of books about metaphysics. Yeah. So like there's also that like separation of like the id and the consciousness, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like how much of your soul is you and how much is your soul just like a battery for your body.
Yeah.
You know? Like
how much of it is just chemical?
Yeah, like if you die, do you keep your memories? Yeah. Or does the energy that powered your body leave and then get a new thing?
Become part of the oneness of eternity or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and like I like to think that the things that stay behind are subconscious. You know, like the thing that you've trained your body to do inherently without thinking, those kind of things, like the walking, the talking, the breathing. I think those are the things that get passed down subconsciously, and that's why babies come out fucking crying.
I think the awareness issue is like the big. It's like that's the big question. At least for me, that's the big question. Nah. So it's like if you like when you die, and everyone thinks there's some sort of afterlife. If awareness is like really, this is now a metaphysical podcast, and I kind of dig it. If awareness is maintained after death, like do you maintain your knowledge of self going into the void?
I feel like you would have to, because like, what is awareness without yourself?
If there is a heaven or whatever, heaven, hell, Tartarus, Elysian Fields, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Valhalla.
Valhalla is the sickest one. But like, okay, yeah, if you go out and you maintain your knowledge of self, you maintain your awareness, is that really a transition into the void? Like, do you your soul or whatever, your corporeal form, is that a different thing completely? Because people say it's like you go to heaven, you meet your dog, and like you have wings and all this sort of shit. And then if you go to like hell, it's like you're in a lake of fire in eternity. But like the soul and like the physical body, are those separate?
For sure.
If those are separate, then can a soul feel physical pain, or what's the deal? Like no one can really answer that because no one knows what the fuck it is. And they have all those little kids that are like, oh, I'm 4 years old and I died and I went to heaven and I saw my dog and my grandpa was playing guitar on a porch. And it's like, fuck you, kid.
You had
You don't know what
you
you're
had
talking
you
about.
had a dream, and it was a good dream.
Yeah, you saw too many Hallmark movies, and that informed your idea of what heaven is, and then you like got in a
Or
car accident. And
or that nigga really went, right, and it was heaven to him. And like, so my two
yeah,
theories are this, right?
yeah, okay,
The first theory is a little more grounded. The second theory is like sci-fi and came from Facebook.
ooh,
Yeah. So the first theory is like when you die, it's lights off and it's a forever dream. So like heaven would be the result of you having a good life and your subconscious and memories are all good.
yeah,
So you living a continuous dream of like all the good memories that you had. Whereas like hell would be the flip side of that. You did evil shit, now you're cursed with the memory of all the evil shit that you did, and you have to experience it over and over and over again into perpetuity. And that's just your consciousness continuing forever, just like as floating energy. That's what I think heaven and hell is.
that's like very reminiscent of, I think it's like what is it, samsara in Hinduism, where it's like you're consistently like reliving until like you break out
Mm-hmm.
into like the next level or whatever, or like even like limbo in Christianity, where it's like you either you it's like middle ground, so you're not in either one of them, so you could either,
Get sucked
yeah,
back in, get renewed.
you could, I mean, not necessarily, but like you'll reliving your past lives or whatever, and people could either help you by, you know, amassing prayers for you to bring up, this is all very Christianity based, or like you kind of learn to, some more liberal sects of Christianity say like, you, if you relive it enough, you learn how to break out of the cycle and to like to finally ascend. um
You ever heard of the Tibetan Book of the Dead?
yeah,
Shit's trippy.
you ever watch The Mummy?
Yeah.
They have a Book of the Dead too. That shit's fucking
Yeah,
sick.
bro. Anaxinamon.
Dude, she was straight up,
She was hot.
she was naked
She
in
had a
that.
big ass forehead.
I don't give a fuck. She was hot as fuck.
She
She
was
was
hot back in the day.
Venezuelan.
Ooh, Venezuelan.
She's Venezuelan. She passed for an Egyptian really well. Um, but that scene in the beginning, she's straight up naked, just full body
Yep.
paint.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, 20th
Brendan
Century
Fraser.
Fox or whoever did that movie.
Poor Brendan Fraser. What did they do to him? What
Dude, he's
happened to
fine
Brendan?
now. I mean, like
No,
he's like on the rise again, but like
he's like his mentality though is gone. What's going on with
it's
his
different.
mentality?
What,
What
dude?
happened to him?
What happened to him was he got
It touched his butthole.
he did so many films that were action based, that, and he did his own stunts. It like broke apart his body. So there's that part. And the second, like the president of the international foreign, or like the foreign press association, or whatever, like I guess like touched him or dilled him or did some sort of shit, and he like told people, and then they like blacklisted him for like a decade,
Whoa.
which is, some bullshit. Like,
Should have sued him like Shaq.
yeah, but
Shaq didn't take that shit. Or was it Shaq? Or who sued? No, it was
Was it
the other big black dude.
oh, Terry Crews.
Terry Crews sued the fuck out of that guy. Ain't nothing touching me.
Yeah, that's the thing too, because it's like as a man, you want to be like, I'm gonna I'm gonna give you a little John Wick,
Shit, bro.
but you can't do that in like in this evolved society where like we look down upon violence unless it's necessary. So even if it's like, oh, you like you slap me on the ass or whatever, I feel violated. I want to beat the shit out of you, but I'm not gonna do that. And then it's like you want to go out, but it's like either other people, if you're a man, other men are gonna say, why don't you just fuck that dude up? Even though,
for sure,
yeah, they're all gonna say, why don't you fuck that dude up? Or they're just gonna say,
I
like,
would have fucked that dude up.
just get over it, like that sort of shit. So there's, I mean, the one, we're again political today. The one thing that I do agree with the movement, the movement we're talking about. That movement is, it's, I mean, there's a whole bunch of problems with that movement. but it did allow people to speak and say, hey, like, it's okay to say it. If someone did some shit to you, it's okay to like come out with it. So that's a good thing. That's one good thing that came out. Because if someone touched me, or someone like touching my kid would be a different thing. Like if I had a kid and kid got touched, he murdered that guy. Absolutely. If someone touched me, and yeah, you feel kind of weird about like going to the authorities saying, oh, they like I don't know, jerk me off or whatever, and I didn't feel good about it. That's that's again, this is all like weird stuff about being a dude. Cause you should we're simple creatures, and in reality, if a woman did just like come up to you and just like without your consent, and you're just like, what the fuck was that about? You're like, oh, yeah, not bad. Like you should be that in our collective man consciousness. You should be like, oh, that's great. Someone just like gave it a little action. But you're not like that all the time. Sometimes you're like, I'm having a like I didn't feel comfortable having someone do that to me. And then you don't know what to do. You feel shame. You want to like go talk to somebody. They're gonna call you a pussy because it's great when someone touches your dick. Uh, and yeah, you don't know what to do. So
My first job ever, I got sexually harassed by this old black lady. Not old, like older than me. She was like late 30s, early 40s.
yeah,
And you know how black ladies are. Like, just paint your cheeks, paint your butt. Like, it's kind of the thing.
yeah.
But I was at work in front of kids and shit, you feel me?
Ooh.
And she was like, look at your little cute ass, whatever she was saying. And I was like, yeah, 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 shop talk. And she like grabbed my ass and squeezed it, right? And I just stood there. I was like frozen. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
What do I do right now? Do I punch her? Do I tell the manager? Like, do I fucking call a lawyer? Like, what the fuck do I do? And I just like let it rock. And like,
You look at her, you lick your lips. That's what you do.
nah, but I didn't want it though. Like, if she was hot, it would have been a different story. But she was an old lady.
No, you do that, and then you like give her like a weird glare, and then she's like, "Oh, he might be too much."
Yeah, bro. Nah, man. That shit was a trip. I never forgot how that felt. It was a very like weird feeling, and like I wasn't scared or nothing because like it was like if she wanted
No, you could
to rape me, I
you
would
roundhouse kick her in the head.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But like, it still felt fucking weird.
It does, yeah.
That still felt. I guess it would be objectifying. That's what they would call it.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you got to know what the situation is, because like everyone like sees those situations differently. Like there might be a dude who's like, yeah, you go on, Granny, come on, let's go. uh I remember it really depends on the person too. I remember in college one time they tried to start like a college club, like an underage club that didn't have any drinks, which is funny because everyone would end up just going to the parking lot and drinking first and then going to the club. But they tried to set it up near Cal State, like near the traffic circle where there's like a health market now. It was in that building. And I'm with my buddies and we go in, and as soon as we go in, I just like a real hard smack on the ass. I feel it. I'm like, what was that? And then like we walk a little forward, and I'm just like, I feel kind of weird about that. And I look back, and it's like a short redhead, kind of cute, like, but you could tell like a little too fiery. Like, whoa. And she's like, she sees me look at her, and she does one of these. She's just that, and she like does this whole thing, and I was like, oh no, I'm kind of scared.
At least she was cute though.
She was cute. It was just like
cute matters.
That's cute does matter.
I've seen like this video where there were a bunch of dudes getting mad at girls where they're like, you treat like we're stalkers because we're ugly. If we were cute, we wouldn't be stalkers. And it's like,
I mean, yeah, that's true.
well, yeah.
Yeah, see, I mean, you can't be too ugly. That's fucked up.
It's not even because like beauty is in the eye of the beholder or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like If the nigga ain't
Yeah.
into you, then it's not. It's weird.
And also there's definitely that, but also if you're not the best looking, you can't let that inform your your uh your self-confidence,
Yeah,
because that's what a lot of dudes do. It's like, oh, I think I'm ugly, or I'm like, I'm not the best looking objectively. I'm gonna, I'm going to now define myself by my lack of confidence in my physical appearance, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna be the fucking weird nerd or dark whatever dude, and not feel comfortable around women, and not just like go for it, you know. So
pussy is a very
yeah,
intimidating thing for some people.
yeah, yeah,
So,
it
but
totally
so,
is.
but
Yeah,
like pussy's like one of those like mainstays where it's like it's like a survival tactic almost. Like
yeah,
it's reproduction. It's like the next stage of the game. It's about as important to your life as water or
yeah,
food is. And it's like you really see that Darwinism kick in when it's like certain motherfuckers just ain't built for it.
yeah.
You're not built for talking to women. Like you don't know what to say. Like you're gonna have to find that one in a million that gets where you're coming from. So because don't know how to communicate.
And you also got to be like, you got to find your center in it. You can't delve into either extreme where it's either like you're whatever that, what's that shit called? You're like an incel, where you're like, you just hate women.
Incels are scary.
Those dudes scare the fuck out of me. But there's also the thing where it's like you get into that.
That's like retard strength. You can't say retard. That's
It's a no
that's
no.
like it's just like watching somebody disassociate from
Yeah,
reality that hard and then like
yeah,
use it against people. Like that's terrifying.
yeah. And so that's like this end, and this end, it's like the weird, like women as chattel sort of thing, where it's like as funny as Andrew Tate can be sometimes, that like the weird like women are objects
Have
sort
you
of
seen
thing.
his niggas videos after the prison, bro?
Yeah.
He's starting to get angrier.
Can I this is like maybe not, this is not gonna endear me to like the PC crowd. He's I tried to figure out who he was. Like I watched a couple videos to like get a gauge on who he is.
That's fucking my cousin Skeeter, bro. You never seen that show?
No.
It's my cousin Skeeter.
That dude is actually really funny.
He, bro, like
Yeah.
the thing about him is he talks in a matter of fact way,
Yeah.
and people whenever somebody does that, people fucking hate it because it's
Yeah.
like you're telling me I'm wrong by saying that you're right,
Yeah.
and
I like,
who
what,
cares?
he's charismatic enough where I get why he has a following. I don't
But
agree with everything he says, but like he does, like I get it.
they said that nigga
Yeah.
was trafficking humans.
Yeah, and that's fucked up. Like he can't do that shit. You can't do
You can't do that.
you can't be either. You can't be
Can't
like,
do it. No.
you can't be like either like a weird, I can't get any pussy, so I'm gonna be mad, or I'm gonna get so much pussy that I consider women to be like belongings. So you gotta find the middle ground where like I know who I am, what I can do, how I can get women to like me, how to approach women, but I'm not gonna be like pathetic or a monster.
Bro, you know the thing is that nobody talks about those types of guys, like
Wait, which kind of guys?
the
Incels or
Tates,
the
the
Tates? Yeah,
Tates, right? And I've seen the Tates before. Those guys that never got any pussy started getting money, started getting pussy,
yeah,
but they don't know how to control the quality of their women
yeah,
because they can't discern that quality because they don't know the difference. Like you're just getting pussy, you think pussy is the same, no matter who's sitting on it. It ain't. It just ain't. It don't matter how pretty she is, how whatever she got going. Like if she didn't have the mentality behind her, like
yeah,
pussy's basically worthless. And if you want to be real with me, like it's worse than worthless because it detracts the worth from you.
yeah,
Spend a lot of time, spend a lot of money, spend a lot of energy on something that ain't gonna last. Hence the Tates.
yeah.
These womanizing cowards.
You want a partner.
Yeah, bro.
You don't want. I was gonna say something really terrible. You don't want you don't just want the action. You want someone to like you can maintain that action with, who will also be a partner to you, and allow you to like live out your dreams and live in a way that's authentic to you, and in turn you could allow that for that person too.
Yeah, man. But everybody's definition of love is different, you know.
Yeah.
Some people's definition of love is get in the kitchen, bitch.
Yeah. Big knockers.
I love a good set of titties.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them.
I was on another podcast and we asked this question: what were the best anime titties? And it took me a lot longer than I thought.
There are too many. There are too many
But
because
there is a number one.
There is an unrealistic expectation of titties through anime because they're all unproportional. But again, they're all unproportional, which means they're all unproportional. So every anime has someone whose tits are so big that it doesn't make sense.
You know who had the?
So they're all interchangeable.
So not just Japanese animation, but but animation in general. You know who had the best body of all time?
Who you got?
It's the top two. And you know, sorry for my black queens for these two ladies being white women. I can't help that.
It's anime. They're all white women.
You know, Dexter's mom from Dexter's Laboratory. Ooh. Don't at me. And motherfucking Miss Impossible from The Incredibles.
She's also stretchy.
Yeah, that's a whole different. We ain't even got to talk about that.
No, we should talk about that.
Because like that would be sexy if she didn't have nobody, but she's got the starter body.
She's
just
like
off rip.
She got the looks, but she's also Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, bro.
That's tight.
Imagine the kind of shit you could do in a bedroom. Like she's attached to the wall. You're swinging from her while you're still inside of the unit. You know.
Oof.
Yeah, bro.
What's the weirdest shit you've ever done?
Threesome.
It's not that weird.
That's about as weird as it gets for me. I don't be going too crazy like that, you know. I got covered in period blood once.
Like ritually?
No, not.
She like draw like a pentagram.
Simba. Like... No. It was her birthday at the time, and then we went to this hotel and we got active, and then we didn't know it was her time of the month.
Yeah.
And we went to sleep and woke up. And I woke up like this to wipe my forehead. And like I felt this smear, you know what I'm saying?
That's great. You got the globs on it?
Yeah. And part of it coagulated, so it was like, it wasn't red anymore. It was like PG-13, y'all. It was like brown blood, and it was like goopy and like sticky and all over. And I screamed. I was like, ah! There's blood everywhere. And then like she woke up, what was wrong? I was like, you filthy bitch, you bled on me. And then like I remembered, like it was on. I had a condom on it. She sucked the condom. I was like, "You sucked the condom, you filthy bitch! How could you?" But I'll tell you what, though. And you can take this to the bank.
I don't mind period sex. Period sex is great because they're all about it. They're randy as hell.
Period blood, is the best moisturizer for your skin.
What's wrong with you?
I'm just saying. I never would have found it out by normal means, but I woke up covered head to toe in this stuff, and when I washed it off, my skin was squeaky smooth. Like it was right. I'm just saying, if you ever got some ash in a weird place, some alligator elbows, I suggest you slap the tap and fix your situation up. You might change your perspective.
That's great.
Yeah.
I was with this chick. And no names, because I respect women.
Mm-hmm. But you put your foot on her face and you put your fist in her ass.
I mean, close.
Yeah.
No, like sexual exploration is such a weird topic because people are into the weirdest shit, and some people will be into things that you feel might be overstepping boundaries.
So she called you dad.
No, I've had that happen before. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm all about that, to be honest. It used to weird me up. I'm like, you know what? I don't care about your issues.
Daddy's all right with me, but dad is crazy. Father,
I will.
Father.
It's like father. What do you like? What's that from? Where does that stem from? If I ignore you for a bit, is that going to bring up weird memories? Is that where this is coming from? That's what
it's going to make them like it because that's what they like about you, being a father. You know, you're aloof.
Withholding.
Yeah,
withholding daddy. I don't mind that at all. Um,
You're disgusting.
I'm a fucking modern man, dude.
You're disgusting.
Uh, what I'll what I'll say, I never was into like the I didn't understand like the tying up shit.
Until you did it, and then it was like, whoa, right?
I did the whole like fucking hog tie, arms,
You did
legs.
it. You tied it yourself?
She walked me through it,
No, wow.
and I was just like,
Yeah, you're hanging out with a demon.
oh, it was great. I got a Jezebel. It's
Yeah,
sick.
be
But
careful.
you know what? I take care of myself. But she did the whole thing. It was all like very intricate rope tying stuff that I'd never done. She showed me how to do it. She's like, I could pull up a YouTube video. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking, if you want to do it, let's do it. So we did that. She had like all the toys. She had like a thing hanging down from the ceiling where I could like hook her up to the thing and like fuck her midair. Like that sort of shit. You will never not be surprised by how the 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 breadth of imagination of people when it comes to sexual gratification.
Listen, I'm huge. I ain't swinging off his shit to
Yeah.
the ceiling unless that shit got a command hook on it. You know what I'm saying? That shit gonna need some wall anchors and some caulk for this cock. We need some caulk cock, you know?
You know what? It's the one thing I don't think I could ever do is animal stuff or animal role play stuff, like furry stuff.
I'm very far removed from that.
Furry stuff freaks me out because it's like you're fucking somebody in a costume in like a fox, like a fox is getting fucked by a bear, basically, but it's still humans in costumes, but you're imagining that you're fucking an animal.
Is that what it is, or is it imagining of you're fucking a dude in a costume?
No, it's you're imagining you're fucking an animal or you're getting fucked by an animal.
Because like I would be down for like a step under furries and make it like mascots.
Yeah.
Like give me something identifiable. Like I'll fuck the Starbucks lady and I'll be like the Bruin, the USCLA Bruin bear, you know, something. I don't know.
A bear will fuck
Yeah, a mermaid.
a mermaid.
Yeah.
You know what?
Who else is there? Wendy.
You know the funny thing about the
Wendy's.
Starbucks mermaid?
That her legs are right here.
No, the original one tits out.
Nice.
Tits out, baby, just like
Yeah, this is how they get the milk for the frappuccino.
mermaid.
Yeah, whip that tit.
Mermaid milk. You saw Star Wars when he's drinking when the new one. He drinks like
Don't.
You don't like it?
Don't.
I know it was a terrible movie. I just thought it was funny.
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't make me think about that scene again. That blue fucking alien and that long ass nipple. And he just wiped that shit off his fucking mustache. God damn, that shit was gross. What the fuck is Star Wars, bro? That is the grossest shit I've ever seen on a television.
You know what?
I was around for the blue waffle.
When you think about,
don't Google that.
No, everyone knows what that is, and they don't want to Google. But when you think about like the actual lore of Star Wars, and you watch like the old ones, and then you watch the prequels, and then you watch the new ones, which admittedly are really shitty. Like it falls pretty realistically into the canon. It's like, it's an alien. You're milking an alien. You're drinking like blue titty milk from like a weird alien.
That motherfucker was sitting upright, kicking it.
Yeah.
No, you don't get to.
You wouldn't drink a weird alien's milk.
I wouldn't drink from anything that's bipedal, Jonathan.
What if it was the best protein? What was the best nutritional source on the planet?
Does it walk on two legs?
Yeah.
I can't fuck with it. That's weird. That's weird.
So you wouldn't like. You would abstain from your woman's milk if she offered it to you?
I drink my girl's titty milk.
Yeah, she's bipedal.
I drink a lady's titty milk, but like
it's bipedal.
Not by like, but ladies are hot. I mean, anything that's not humanoid and bipedal. Like, you see what that thing looked like?
Yeah,
it looked like 2 cases of Grimace mixed with a Hamburglar, like with titties. Like, how am I fuck with that?
But what if it's like What if it's like Soylent Green, where it's like, well, that's a different game. So
Yeah,
like
so in
that's
the Green Turn that shit,
as
they made it from people.
it's
Didn't
from
they?
people. What if it's like the best
Like
nutri?
Slurm.
It's like the best nutritional source.
You watch Futurama?
Yeah,
Remember
not.
Slurm?
I do remember Slurm. Yeah,
Yeah, like Slurm when it came out the worm's butt and it
yeah,
tasted so good that he was gonna chew his own arms off to get into that grate.
yeah.
I wouldn't take the first sip.
I would do it.
They had to force feed him that first sip in Futurama. That's how it would be for me.
I
I'm
would
not.
do it. I would do it if it
The
was
promise would be enough. They're like, "Yo, this is gonna be really good." You're like, "All right."
if this was the most nutritional thing on the planet, fulfilled every nutritional need, tasted
No, it's not. There's no way it's gonna do all that. You're giving it
taste.
too much.
This is all hypothetical.
Imagine it's like
Hypothetical.
imagine it's as good as 3 cups of milk. That's as good as it's getting. That's how much protein and whatever the fuck it's got in it.
Well, it's an alien. You don't know what the nutritional value of its milk is.
I mean, I don't. That's even worse.
Yeah, but what if it? Okay, so
Send that shit to the FDA, whoever,
hypothetically, it
the
tastes
Food and Drug Administration.
tastes like a fucking Chick-fil-A milkshake. It's the only thing you need to fulfill your body's requirements for nutrients, and it just comes from a weird
I
ass
just
looking
thought
thing
about it again,
with weird tits, but it's like good.
bro. Let me.
I'm
tell
all
you,
about it. I'll fucking eat whatever.
Let me tell you something about how disgusting that shit is. Would you drink from a water fountain that was made out of flesh?
Are there any benefits to flesh water?
It cleans your teeth, makes your teeth white.
I mean, that's not enough for me.
But it's just sitting out. Like the thing about flesh is it's disgusting. You know they're not wiping off them nipples ever. They're not rinsing shit
But
off.
is it like a water fountain at like a park? Because everyone's using
The
that.
water fountain at a park is made out of metal.
Yeah, I know, but where is this water fountain situated?
Bro, like imagine it's this little skin water fountain right in like just a middle school hallway.
Made out of
Everybody's touching it,
yeah.
spitting on it, sneezing. Now imagine that same water fountain, but it's an alien that's just walking around in the element, fighting shit, getting blood on all his titties, fucking running, hiding and shit, covering shit on it to mask its scent
It
because it's
depends
still
on the
feral.
benefit, the benefit of the milk.
But he drank that shit straight.
I know, but
He
it's
didn't
like,
even process it.
what's the benefit? Is it? I mean, you don't know if alien titty milk needs to be pasteurized or anything like that. It might be like pasteurized from the get go or whatever.
Bro, and this is like a side connection here, but like, how are you gonna trust something that you haven't seen the long term effects of? Like, does he know a nigga's been drinking that titty milk for 20 years with no side effects?
I feel like he's been on the planet long enough and been drinking the titty milk long enough that it's fine.
I think that nigga was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna drink the titty milk. I think he just got bored. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it was like it was a delicacy. I think that dude was just like sitting there on that planet, didn't have shit to do, and was like, fuck it, let me see what these titties talk about. They look like titties, and he started playing with them, and they squirted out milk.
Why did I write the rule on Jedi celibacy? I shouldn't have done that. Now I got this weird set of titties.
I bet he drank it from afar too with the force. He just like squeezed it and made the milk float in the air so he could sip it.
With the Luke Skywalker theme from the original.
Yeah, bro. The force seems like it'd be so convenient though. I feel like that's the best part about it.
That's
like it's
just
pure convenience.
It's just telekinesis.
Yeah, that's it. But that would be so convenient.
It's telekinesis with midichlorians.
Imagine like wiping your ass with no hands. I don't know why that's the first place I went, but
there's logistical issues with that. So if you're doing that with,
see, I just imagine a long line of tissue paper rolling through my legs like Matilda, and I'm just fucking whistling, and it's just like wiping 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square straight into the bowl, and then it's just done.
There's a lot that goes into that.
You gotta think about it. But that's all you gotta do with telekinesis. Think about it.
You ever think about telekinesis, like how
every day I think about telekinesis.
How like in depth do you have to think of every? You think of things broadly, like you want to like move a car, or do you have to think of every single molecule in the car?
Fuck that.
Like, how do you manipulate the car? You just be like, that's the car.
Yeah, imagine output.
Yeah,
like you're just thinking hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like trying to fucking concentrate hard as fuck. That's what I imagine.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, like who has that kind of knowledge to the molecular level? Like the only way to be telekinetic is to be a fucking nuclear physicist. Like how
Yeah.
am I gonna achieve that? You know?
You know what? What's the deal with like everyone
What's the
in
deal
in
with airline food?
media or everyone in like superheroes or fictional stuff who has telekinetic powers? Why are they all hot?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's great. I
But
mean, besides like Xavier, like Jean Grey,
Xavier looks all right. He's
like
just in
hot
a
redhead,
he's in a
like
motherfucking whatchamacallit in a
in a
wheelchair.
wheelchair. Yeah,
Jean Grey is great because she went crazy.
yeah.
Like her thing broke. Like she thought too hard, and twung, and then that was it for her.
Yeah.
She went dark side.
Darkseid's such a good villain.
What's the first thing you would do with telekinesis?
Does it okay? Are we considering wait telekinesis and then there's
Chronicle style telekinesis. You ever seen the movie Chronicle?
yeah.
Like
I'm
that.
thinking because it's like because psychics have like a whole host of powers. So it's like you can read minds and
No, no,
influence
no.
people. It's just the moving with
Just
with the
moving.
mind.
Yeah,
Um,
it was powerful though. It's like
yeah.
10 times your own body strength.
I'd be like, I'd learn how to enhance my physical capabilities. So if you could like in an anime where you like coach your arms in the power so you could like punch harder, like that sort of shit,
Mm-hmm.
I would do that. Or I'd like get really good at juggling because that's
That'd be
funny.
hilarious.
That's funny as
That
hell.
was actually in the movie Chronicle. That was the thing he juggled,
Yeah.
and it was great because he was telekinetic. I just imagine throwing like a fully imaged kick at somebody with my mind. Like imagine if I threw like a Sanchai round kick right across somebody's nose bridge from across the room by thinking it. Just knocked out. He's just clean out.
Well,
Nose bridge
his
broke.
but you don't. But that's probably it's going to have more of a physical effect than an actual kick because you're hitting them with like psychic force.
And
So
it's
their face would smush.
and it's perfect.
You'd smush
And
their
it's lined
face.
up perfect. That's tight.
They'd be dead.
I don't know about dead. I
You
think
might kill somebody.
it'd be a good one.
Yeah. Speaking of sports, I need to drop the kids off at the Super Bowl. So
All right, make sure you turn your mic off, sir.
take it out.
Last time you pissed in my ear.
Oh, they'll be fine. Talk to them about more God stuff.
All right, boys and girls. So now we're going to tell you a story about the reading rainbow. No, not really. We're not going to tell you that story. We're going to tell you a story about martial arts and how you can use them to defend your person or another person. Now, if you saw a snake slithering up to you on the street and you knew how to react to it because of its color, you would know whether or not it was venomous and therefore could save everybody around you from the fear and indecision. And that's the same thing martial arts can do for you. Now, hear me out here. Now, imagine you could see a punch coming before it happened, or you can spot the temperament on a young individual from across the street before he even crossed it. Now, that's what I'm telling you that direct experience with martial arts can do for you. It will give you confidence, it will give you timing, it will give you control over most situations that might take a turn for the worst. Where most people will feel uncomfortable, you will be comfortable, you will be strong, and you will be able to act. And that is why I teach martial arts for free. Because I don't believe in keeping such an experience to myself. I want to share it with you. Eventually, it's going to make some money though. Yeah, what else is going on? You know, met the Street Beefs guys. That was cool. We're at the nonprofit, hanging out, teaching kicks, Ended up in the Street Beefs chat. We met some of those guys. Some of the two guys that we met were actually fighters from Street Beefs. So we gotta meet them at their camp. We're gonna train with them and maybe get some spars, and it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. I'm just trying to continue to find opportunities for the nonprofit, and then doing this kind of shit on my spare time because I think it's fun. You know, talking to you all about the things that you find interesting, or maybe you don't find it interesting, but fuck it. I find it interesting, and sometimes I don't. Fuck it, I just talk to talk. You know, but yeah, man, we got some big shit on the horizon here. We got this podcast, we got the Void podcast coming out, we've got some more edits coming soon. The nonprofit just made a self-defense video. Ooh, my girlfriend just passed gas. Good lord. Dang, that just threw me off. That was a good one, babe. I don't know if you're watching live, but that was a good one. And yeah, tip your waiter.
We should talk about fight stuff since it's a fight podcast.
Yeah, dude. I just went in on the martial arts.
Okay, I want to talk about some news. We're going to talk about some fight news. Because there's some good fights coming up this summer. They just announced like 3 that are super killer. Okay, so we got Holloway versus Korean Zombie. We got Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. And we have Triple C versus Marlon Vera.
Triple C.
Let's talk about all of them because I want to get opinions. First one, Max versus Zombie. I feel really sad
that Max is gonna have to put Zombie away.
It's gonna be bad.
Who do you think's taking that?
Max.
I don't know.
Max annihilates Zombie, and I love Zombie, and he's great. He's become a much more precise puncher. He's kind of become a little bit of a counter puncher.
I think Korean Zombie's wrestling is better than Max's.
It's not. Doesn't matter. He's not getting him to the ground.
I don't know.
He's not getting him to the ground.
Korean Zombie's a fucking unit, bro. And like Max, he's the kind of guy that like he's gonna stay outside and try to counter punch you, or move in for the kill and stand and bang with you.
Max has been much more of like an in and out guy lately.
Yeah,
like
bro.
with the Arnold fight, and then even like watching him like move with like even going back to the Cater fight, Cater and Yair, he's moving a lot more than he used to. And I think this new iteration of Max in the Arnold fight, he didn't get hit as much as he usually does. And he still got hit, but like it seems like he's much more cognizant of the fact that he gets hit a lot in fights. He's moving, he's rolling with his punches. The footwork is a lot better. And he's not just like doing output for output's sake to like build up upon. That Arnold fight was him like finding his shots better and moving a lot better, not getting hit. And I think he destroyed Zombie, and I love Zombie. But Zombie's older. He took a terrible beating last time. The Volk fight made me sad. There are fights that make me sad. The Volk fight made me sad.
I mean, how else was that fight gonna go though?
He got whooped.
Yeah.
And but like yeah, Volk and Max are on a different level than anyone else in that division right now. So I think Zombie gets worked. And he already said it's his last fight. I think he gets worked. It's sad, but I think he gets worked. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I never want to count out the Korean Zombie, bro, because like he's such a unit, bro. He's such a powerful guy. Like I've seen him get put to like the very limit and then still come back on a
he's
fight.
Powerful, and he has a lot of power. He's fast. He's accurate. His hands are somewhat like he's working with Eddie Trial. His hands are way better now that he's training at Arizona. the fuck else? Let's get some more, baby. They were like, good. You know what? I thought it was not gonna be as. Yeah, I'll take more. Good. There we go. He like, he's still not much of a kicker.
Yeah.
He's still not much of a mover. His upper body movement, like he has taken on a more boxing centric thing. If you see him like when he fought Moicano or when he fought Bermudez, his hand, like you could see his hands are much better than before he took the military leave. And he's a much more confident counter striker. But I think that lack of movement, like he's a very stationary fighter. He waits for his counters. He waits stationary for his counters. And I think because of that, Max works the fuck out of him.
All I can say is we'll see, man.
We'll see. Yeah.
And
Also, Max has never been knocked out.
Yeah. And
Max fought Dustin at 155, and Dustin on fight day like weighs at like 170, 180. Like he gains back a lot of weight. He's huge. You see, Dustin's shoulders are huge. He didn't knock down Max. I mean, Max kind of tumbled back, but like Max has never been knocked down. So I don't think like a 45 KZ is going to do the damage that like a 55 Dustin, who bulks back up to like 180 probably, is going to do.
We'll see. Because Max got to cut down too.
Yeah, Max cuts down, but he seems to be a lot more fit now. Like the last couple of fights, the Volk fight, even though he lost that fight, and the Arnold fight, he's more shredded. Like you could tell. Like there's more muscle to him.
That's one thing that they don't really talk about when they talk about these matchups. Is like, I mean, like you'll hear people mention it, but like it's never talked about in depth. Where it's like how hard these cuts really are, and like how much it takes out of a fighter. Like your nutrition game, your plan before the match is way more important than what's going on inside the match. Because you go in there with no energy, you're fucked.
That's why I like dudes. I like guys like Colby. Because Colby cuts like 10 pounds. I think Colby walks around at like 180. Mm-hmm. He's fighting at 170. And you could tell because like when he goes in there, it's not only the energy, but you can tell like the physiology. Like he doesn't look drained when he's on the scale. So dudes like that, or like when I don't know how much like Cannonier cuts now that he's at 185, but like I don't think it's a lot because he used to fight at heavyweight, then he went down to lightweight. Now he's at middleweight. He's fucking shredded at middleweight. He's like, that's like Greek god looking shit. But I know he's like very much into like his body and like his physicality because he lost all that weight. And I don't know how much he loses in camp, but I wouldn't assume too much because he's already like just like ripped as shit. I don't know how much more you could lose. But those kind of guys, I dig those guys because you're not looking to be a weight pulley. Mm. You're not looking for like the size advantage. And I think that's an important thing. Like I think Colby could like he could definitely fight at 155, and I think he'd still do great. But like he's doing great at 170, so like why not leave it?
Are you serious about joining a band with me, Jonathan?
Yeah, we'll fucking do it.
We need people. You're gonna have to do the band part. I don't know shit about bands. I grew up with my dad and watched bands perform. Yeah. I know how to work a backstage and a motherfucker and sell hats.
You want to tell him the idea?
No.
We're just talking.
Yeah, I don't want nobody to know,
okay.
Bro.
Okay.
Y'all can't know yet, bro. But we're making it. We got a band and we're sitting on a pretty hot premise. But Yeah.
We can make so much money off of this idea.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. I know so many people that would just love this at
Yeah.
weddings, fucking parties, party buses, events, bro. Come on. Come on,
It'd
bro.
be a great one.
So who would it be? Cuz like what do we need? Drums,
You got drums. You got bass.
singing.
Got a singer.
Yeah.
A guitarist or two. At least one guitarist.
Low key, we need a lady to sing backup because there's a lot of like female centric songs.
You need a lady. You need a backup lady. You need a guitarist, and then probably a keyboard player.
Yeah. Do we know anybody that plays keyboard?
I don't know anybody who plays keyboard that would be into doing this.
Yeah, like all the people that I know who play keyboard are like from my dad's old bands.
Yeah.
Like old people.
I only know squares.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like
Anime is a square event,
that's not,
isn't it?
that's not.
You gotta be initiated, I guess. Yeah, dude. I mean, there's good music in them though. It's like there's not. It's not like if you're not an anime fan, there's nothing to be found. But damn, I'm giving away the shit. Y'all shut up. Y'all didn't hear nothing.
You gotta walk out on stage and you're gonna be like, you're gonna look at the crowd and be like, believe it.
Mm-hmm. Fuck up with the whole world, bro. That'd be great.
In between songs, you gotta pull out a death note and just be like,
Mm-hmm.
do that, and then like, whatever the next song
Just
is.
write the beat on it.
Yeah.
Killed the beat. You and Ramsey still gigging?
We're still gigging.
Yeah,
We're gonna
how's
gig
it
on
going?
Monday.
How's it going?
Well, we got a gig on Monday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When's the last gig you had?
Last gig we had was that other gig that you went to.
Mm.
We're doing a gig Monday, same place, and then I think we're gonna do 4th Street.
4th Street.
Like the Pike, maybe.
Ooh.
So that should be fun. We're trying to find stuff. I mean, I'm like trying to talk to like Panama Joe's because like that's the crowd for it. You know, you're not gonna do a crowd where it's a bunch of like fucking hipsters and turtlenecks and they're not gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get party crowds where people get drunk and like vomit everywhere because that's kind of the music. Like this project is kind of that, like a lo-fi EDM influence sort of thing, which usually isn't my thing, but like Ramsey's so fun to play with and he's so easy to play with. That's like, yeah, I'll do it. Let's include the crowd back into this. Okay, this is our aside is done. We're gonna go back into fight stuff. Umar, ooh, show him the sword. Where'd you get that sword?
It was a gift from my uncle.
Is that real?
Yeah, my uncle's a Crip, and he knows I do martial arts, so he stole his sword from a dead guy.
Okay, that's why the
You know what
handle's
that inscription says?
What? No idea what that says.
You guys can't see that, but there's an inscription on the side of the sword, and it says, "In ancient times, there were gods and there were worshippers."
I thought it was gonna be like, my fofo, make sure all your kids don't grow.
No.
You want to hear the funniest thing that I heard
a
high schooler say to another high schooler? And there are words I can't say in this phrase. I was, I live near a high school, and it's a very white high school. But there's like 2 black kids probably in the entire high school, and
it's not sharpened.
There's a coffee place across from the high school that I go to, because it's a Filipino coffee place, so I gotta rep my people. So I went to get a coffee there one time, and the kids had just gone out of school at like 3 o'clock or so. And then like a lot of them hang out in the parking lot and like go, because there's a subway in the park, like in that shopping center. So they hang out there, go to the subway, or just like skate in the parking lot. And it's like a group of kids there, and they're just like talking shit to each other. And the one black kid in that group was like, shit, what do you say? It's like, where'd you go to school? where'd you go to school? It's like where'd you get your education? The Zoolander School for Retarded N-words.
Well,
And I was like, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard a child say.
Zoolander.
You know, they're like is
Yeah,
this a
like
school for ants?
yeah, like how the fuck you gonna get like a Zoolander reference as a child?
And I was like, what the fuck? And he said that shit, and I was like laughing so hard. I'm just like outside, I'm waiting for my coffee. And I'm like, these kids are so good at talking shit now.
Mm-hmm.
They have enough. They've had the internet long enough that they could look up anything basically.
Yeah, you can be any kind of like my little sister, bro. I ain't seen her in so long, and she's getting big. I told her not to get fucking big, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's into like classic rock and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like she lived with a Jamaican dude, and like
She's listening to fucking like
she's homeschooled. You know what I'm saying? Like
Led
how the
Zeppelin.
fuck she find it? Yeah, bro. She's telling me about System of the Down and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how are you having the exact same childhood that I had 20 years later? You know what I'm saying? It's a trip.
Well, she woke up, grabbed a brush,
Yeah.
and put a little makeup.
Yeah, wake up. Had to take a shit and then some makeup.
You know they're from Glendale.
I believe it. It's a very like their message is very Glendale.
I never knew they were from Glendale, and it's like I love Glendale because the food's great. So I go there whenever I'm up in LA and just get food. It's like Glendale has the biggest Armenian population, or one of the biggest Armenian populations in the world. I think it's like second to Armenia.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I wonder where the System of a Down is because they're all Armenian. So I was like, are they from? Like, they have to be from Glendale, but I didn't know. And then my friend was like, they're from Glendale. I was like, oh shit, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They're sick. Dude looks like a Viking and he had the braided beard, but he's not. He's Armenian. That's it.
It's pretty rad.
That's a great band.
Reminds me of Rammstein.
Du hast?
Du hast. The same kind of vibe that they had. That Metalocalypse vibe, you know?
Yeah.
But like, they're like, we are a hanging black cloud, but sometimes we talk about real shit that we all feel, you know? Like,
Yeah.
they're not that edgy, you know?
Okay, if we're on a music aside, what have you been listening to lately?
Rap. And I'm so like wishy-washy, bro. Like I'll go from old rap to new rap to classic rock to new rock to reggae, and something that like came out of nowhere, bro. Elvis.
Elvis is tight though.
I like it.
I know he stole everything, but he's tight.
I like it. It's just a it's a unique listening experience.
It's great. Don't watch the Boz Lerman movie.
Angel.
That Boz Lerman movie is such a pile of shit.
Walk like an angel. Ate a peanut butter sandwich. Took a shit that night.
Have you ever seen any of his movies?
Put banana, then I fried. Oh, yes, I did. No, I've never seen any of his movies.
He's a terrible actor. But the
I
music's really good.
I can imagine. His music is great.
His music's fantastic.
You know what got me into his music? Crazy enough?
The Sandwich?
Lilo and Stitch, bro.
Oh.
Lilo and Stitch, bro.
That's a great movie.
It was a great movie. Lilo had a good taste.
It's a great movie. Dude, Elvis is sick. There's nothing wrong with listening to Elvis.
It feels wrong because he stole from all of my people.
He stole from your people, yeah.
And I'm just sitting there listening to it. Like, my black side's having a war with my white side. Like, what are you doing to us? And the white side's like, boogie, oogie, oogie, you know?
That boy was white.
Mm-hmm. But it's good.
Elvis
I like
is tight. Again, don't watch the movie. The movie's really silly.
I couldn't imagine.
You know what I've been into lately? I've been into like hype up music.
Hype up like what?
So I'm like, I got my go-to, which is Big Pun. Big Pun is always my go-to.
Oh, you talking about like gym music?
When I want to just like get like fucking buck.
Trying to get your gains.
When I'm getting crunk.
Bro,
it's Big Pun, and then it's like it's old school, like East Coast shit, or it's like. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of Onyx again.
Never heard of Onyx. That sounds crazy.
Dude, you don't know Slam?
Nah.
Dude, that
I
stuff.
might have like heard it, but I don't know the name of the band by the name.
Dude, Slam's the fucking. That's the jam.
Is that Slam? Da,
Do,
da,
do,
da,
do,
da,
do,
da,
do,
da.
do. Yeah,
Let the boys be
that's
boys.
it.
Yeah.
That's the jam.
It's another one. Fucking with another gun.
That song's a fucking jam. I've been listening to that shit, and then like Freddie Gibbs.
Yeah.
Freddie Gibbs is hilarious.
Johnny, you old, man.
Freddie Gibbs isn't old. I mean, he does have like the Marvin Gaye cover on like one of his old albums, but
Not Freddie Gibbs, nigga. You just old. You knew who sang Slam. That's crazy.
dude, it's Onyx. Onyx is a shit. Or like, yeah, like older rap is less emo
Mm-hmm.
and more about partying or like actual like fight the power shit like
Yeah, real life tribulations.
dude KRS-One type shit. That's the best. That stuff's the best. I don't want to listen to that fucking blue whatever his fucking name. Like I don't want to listen to
Blueface?
I don't want to listen to sad rap.
Blueface, baby. Yeah, all right.
No sad rap.
That
Unless
dude
it's like
Blueface,
Linkin
man.
Park.
Bro,
I'll listen to Linkin Park. That shit's kind of fun.
It's so funny that you call Linkin Park sad rap, but that's exactly what it is.
Linkin Park is sad rap.
Crawling in my skin.
With a half Japanese guy in it.
Half Japanese,
Yeah.
not real.
We're gonna we make music for Transformers movies.
Yeah, that's my shit though.
Dude, that shit's tight. I've been listening to that.
They make movie for Transformers movies and ATV video games.
Oh yeah.
Come on, bro.
It's either
Or
that
skateboarding games.
or like
Holy calamity, scream insanity.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
you ever going to be another great? We're gonna get pulled by fucking DRM. Burr, 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 burr,
the
burr.
first Tony Hawk had such good music.
It really did.
That had the best music.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to Area 51?
Yeah.
That's the
Got
best.
to.
Yeah, that's the best.
I played the remaster, bro. I played the fuck out of those games.
That's the best.
Underground 2 was my favorite though. When you find Bigfoot and then you have to like manual up a mountain.
Okay, let's slide it back into fight stuff.
Or we sliding it in.
Or slide it back into fight stuff. So we went over Max versus Korean Zombie. Next fight, Sanhagen versus Umar. I feel like Sanhagen would walk out to some fun music. He's that I think he's what? He's Team Elevation, so is that Colorado?
I was just asking niggas like what their walkout music would be.
You know what? If I ever in whatever because I'm not doing it now, but in whatever alternate universe I had a fight or I competed, I would be such a silly boy.
What would your walkout music be?
Like it'd be the most random funny bullshit. Like it wouldn't be the same type of shit. I wouldn't do the Weidman thing where he walks out to like Tom Petty, like the same Tom Petty song every single time. Like,
Bro, I would be
which
classic.
is, I love that song. He like Weidman would always walk out to like "Won't Back Down" by Tom Petty, which is a great fucking song. R.I.P. Petty. Petty's the boss. But I wouldn't do that. It would be the same shit. I feel like I'd be more the Tai Tui boss sort of thing. I just walk out to like a stupid ass song every single time.
Bro,
I'd walk out to fucking Shania Twain, then I'd walk out to like Rich Mullins' "Awesome God" or something. That'd be funny as fuck.
that's hilarious. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome.
Okay.
God.
I'm gonna tell you a very trolly story related to that song.
Riverside, motherfucker. That one.
Oh, I told you the Riverside story. Oh no, that was very funny. But in college, I was right above in the dorms. I was right above on the second floor, above this super Christian kid who everyone hated because like there was a whole thing like his roommate was gay and he used to like talk shit about his roommate and like make his roommate miserable and stuff. So everyone was like, this guy's kind of, and also he was just an asshole, like in general. But everyone kind of hated him because like he was kind of just a shitty dude. And so I got really high with my roommate and I was like, I'm good. I was like, you know what would be funny if I set my alarm as Awesome God and just blared it because he was right below us. And so I did for like a month every day at 8 in the morning because I had class. Like I took the early classes. So every day I blasted Awesome God. And he like, he found out it was me and he like tried to like be friends. And I was like, nah.
Nah, bro. It's much better fucking with you.
He was such a dick. He was a terrible person. And it's like you're bad to your roommate because he's gay. That's already not cool.
That's rude.
That's rude as fuck. Like just you shouldn't have like picked your roommate. Because you when you sign up for the thing, when you sign up
mind
for,
your business.
Yeah, mind your business, but also when you sign up for your thing, like you sign up for who you want your roommate to be, like preferences, blah blah blah. There was like a gay straight option.
That's crazy. I didn't
So
know
it's
that.
like you pretty sure like this dude's like I'm pretty sure you know this dude's gay because he signed up for the thing.
He checked the gay box just to make fun of a gay dude, bro.
And so it's like, dude, if you got you got teamed up with a gay dude for your roommate, and you're being like you had to have signed something up enough, like you had to write it down on the sign up enough for it to like, oh, he's cool with gay people. And then he was just like a crazy Christian fuck, and he was an asshole about it.
Johnny.
What? It's on. It's on.
Yeah, bro, but it's so crazy.
It's fine.
Like
It's fine.
a nigga grabbing his shirt like this.
It's fine. Look at it. It's cool. They like it. What's up? How you doing? Sounds like you're summoning something right now.
I am. I'm summoning something. It's coming. It's on the way. It would be great if I had a fart right there, but it went away. I dropped the ball on that one, guys.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
we're not. We don't need to talk about homophobia right now.
Homophobia is crazy, bro. It's kind of like xenophobia.
If you hate anybody for any reason other than they're like trying to fuck your wife or like kill your kids, you're a dick.
Listen, bro, it comes from the same place of insecurity as anything else.
Insecurity or like weird, like unfounded fear.
You know what I think, bro? I think it's they're afraid that somebody else got their shit figured out, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, how come I ain't got my shit figured
Yeah,
out?
like you know what? I don't give a fuck what anybody else does if it doesn't affect me. If you want to do whatever the fuck you want, as long as it doesn't do anything to me or my family or my kids, I don't give a shit. That's the thing. If there's like, this is I could say this because it doesn't happen, but if it's just a bunch of fucking gay dudes running around, like the old
Running around,
like that old Nick Swartzen bit where he's like, I think it was Nick Swartzen, where he's like, they're not running around just fucking people willy nilly like in public. If that was happening, you'd be like, all these fucking gays are just fucking people in public, like that sort of thing. That's not happening. They're just in their own houses, like playing Scrabble and shit. That's fine. Let them do. They're not doing anything to you.
You know what the sad thing is, bro?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers got to be in the closet. They got to hide half themselves from the world because, like, I ever tell you about that story about one of my friends from college?
Is the football guy?
Football guy.
Yeah.
Big buff guy. Not a stronger man you ever met. When I say strong, like that nigga could lift me and another me over his head.
Yeah.
He was homosexual. And, you know, he told like a couple of guys on the team, and like, we never treat him any different. But then he got like to a good college and started playing football at like the meatheads.
Yeah.
And they fucking jumped his ass in the bathroom. And it's like, it's crazy, bro. It's just what did Dave Chappelle say? They're the new black people, you know?
That shit doesn't affect you at all. Like, if it doesn't affect you at all, like, let that shit be. Like, be a fucking normal ass person and just like let people live their lives. That because like it is, and okay, we're dipping away from fighting stuff. Well, we'll get back to it.
This is a fight.
This is a fight. It is a you're right. It is a fight.
Society, bro. This is real life.
Because it's like if it they're not doing anything to you. What's wrong with like they're not telling like it's not like that Key and Peele bit where it's like the gay coworker who's just always talking about sex and shit like that, they're not like, oh, guess what? I fucked another dude or whatever. Like they're not just saying that in your face all the time. It's just they want to do whatever they want to live their lives as they want to live their lives, and it's not affecting you. Doesn't do shit to you. Who gives a fuck?
When did that stigma happen? Because like back in the day, white people used to fuck people in the ass all the time. The Romans, they love fucking each other in the ass.
I mean, this is all before
Nobody
Christian.
had a problem with
This
it.
is all post like Protestant or like Catholic Protestant nonsense. Like this is very much a product of like a very repressed
Reagan's
religion.
war on homosexuality.
It's a repressed
We gotta
religiosity.
get those days.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Crack cocaine too, fuck it.
Yeah.
That's what Reagan said.
I mean, well, he fucking put that shit out there, so fucking.
Yeah, no, listen. And like, yeah, man.
Reagan.
Just be you, dog.
Reagan is a terrible person and a president. We can get into that in future Fisticuffs episodes. But,
A Reagan episode?
We'll have a Reagan episode.
I am not a schnook.
That was Nixon.
Oh.
Reagan was the worst president for veterans. The reason why we have such a crisis with homeless veterans is because of Reagan. He did not care about the armed forces, even though he was like very pro. Like we're gonna fucking, like we're the mightiest military on the planet. Like that sort of Republican like imperialist bullshit. Like we got the most power on the planet. Yeah, that's cool, but like you gotta treat the people in your armed forces that are serving you better. Like you can't have like the fact that we have so many homeless veterans out there that like couldn't get help, like Veterans Affairs, all that, like everything that was built to serve veterans does not work, has never really worked, and we need to treat the people who serve the country better.
It's like priorities are all fucked up when it comes to like monetary allocation in the government, bro.
Yeah.
Like I was just making this point to somebody else about how like teachers create doctors, but they get paid half the wages.
Yeah. Like I've read something, I don't know if it's true, but it's like the median teacher salary is $36,000, which to be honest sounds kind of criminal.
I mean, it's just like that's the incentive you're giving to the next generation.
Yeah, no one's gonna be a fucking teacher.
These are the people we've selected to show you the way.
Yeah,
this is going to be your future. And
so
that's
I think,
fucking disgusting to me, bro.
I think what we're getting is treat teachers better, treat our veterans better. Don't be mean to gay people, and if you are, you're a fucking piece of shit. Just like don't be a dick.
Listen, bro, just mind your fucking business.
Yeah, that's not your shit.
Take care of your shit, your people.
Off.
And if somebody fucks with your people, fuck them up. But if they don't, leave them the fuck alone.
Yeah.
As Joey Diaz would say.
No one's being gay to you.
Bro. You're the gay one if it bothers you.
Yeah. Like, unless, like, they're not like dropping trowel and then fucking in front of you at the Arby's. Because if they were, that'd be like, I'm going to another Arby's. But like, they're not doing that. And then it's like, I know the whole thing. It's like,
you saying that is funny because Arby's sells the Beefinator.
Dude, I love Arby's. I'll be
real. And they're fucking. And if you got fucked in front of Arby's, that's what you would have got.
I love me whatever the mochachinos and their fucking onion rings and their jalapeno poppers. And they're fucking, give me a roast beef Sammy. That shit's tight. I love that shit. And that might just be because
product placement, bro.
No, I used to go there as a kid all the time because we had one near our house. But like,
you want to be real with you, bro, and like this is just
What, you hate
from
Arby's?
from the perspective. Don't look me up and down like that, Johnny. I seen you look me up and down. I was a fat black kid, and
I was a fat Asian kid.
I grew up in Inglewood, bro. We didn't have no Arby's. So the first time I seen Arby's was like after I'd already had like Chinese food and like the famous burgers, you know, the big like
Yeah.
mom and pop shop burgers and like all the bad shit that was good for you,
Yeah.
for your soul, you know. And I seen Arby's and I was like, this is a hot Subway sandwich, but it's circular. At least Subway give you a lot of sandwich, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I never really got into it like that,
I,
man.
I fuck with Arby's, especially their appetizers.
I don't even know
I
nothing
fuck
about
with
that.
Arby's. I do. They're great.
I don't even know nothing about no appetizers. The only thing I know is that the one sandwich I got was a hot turkey sandwich.
Arby's has the best jalapeno poppers on the market.
Damn,
They do.
that's a statement, bro.
They really do. I mean, like, unless there's like another chain somewhere in the Midwest that I haven't been to, but like as of now, jalapeno poppers wise, they got the best.
Bro, I bet they don't got better jalapeno poppers than Jim's right here.
What the fuck is Jams?
Right there on the corner, man. You go out the door, make a left, Jim's. Jim's Boygas.
Okay, I guess I gotta go to Jim's now.
Yeah, bro.
I'm a jalapeno popper fanatic.
They're pretty good. They're pretty solid. They make a lot of shit, and most times you see a restaurant make a lot of shit, it means that they make a lot of shit really subpar.
Yeah.
This place is not the case.
You know what you could tell? It's like it's either it's gonna be really good or really bad. When a place has a lot of things on the menu, like burgers and stuff, but they also have like a whole Greek section.
Nah, the Greek section, yeah, bro. Like you said, bad or good. We used to have this place called Pita Popics, and I'll never forget this place. It got me through college. It got me through the broke days.
Pita what?
Pita Popics.
Pita Popics.
PITAPOPIX. If that shit's still open, spend your money there. Keep them niggas alive, because they kept me alive. I remember me and my fat ass brother, we used to just when I got kicked out and I was living on my own, I moved in with my brother for a little bit, him and his mom. And his mom would sleep in one room. Me and him would sleep in the other dorm style. We would order fucking burgers at 2 o'clock in the night, bro. And they would sit there. That place sold fucking everything, bro. You want hot wings? They got it. You want fucking pastrami burgers? They got it, bro. You want fucking you want halal, bro? You want some fucking Mediterranean sliced beef? They got it.
I love places like that where it's like you get a Western like burger with onion rings, and then you can also get like lamb
bro,
kebab
till 4 in the morning.
Best.
Till 4 in the morning, you get the same shit, and it always tastes good. Me and my fat ass brother used to argue about who was going to go answer the door because we live like on the second story on the inside of a locked apartment complex. So it was a little mission to go get that shit. We didn't want to walk nowhere because it was fat.
You ever feel weird about the fact that Inglewood has a Whole Foods now?
Bro, listen, let me tell you something. Moving out of Inglewood, I remember that was the first time I ever seen a white lady walk her dog in like broad daylight in Inglewood.
In Inglewood?
In Inglewood.
A white woman walked her dog in Inglewood?
Bro, times have changed.
I thought the Whole Foods was a whole thing. Damn.
Nah, it's been like that. Like ever since like Reconstruction on the Forum started.
Yeah.
Like the area started to get gentrified, man. Like big time. And then like yeah, dude, like even as I was moving, which was like at this point, what, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
Damn, longer than that. I'm old. 9 years ago.
I used to go to Inglewood because I've been going to a place called Motherland Music there for years. That place is my jam.
You told me about that place.
For the people who don't know what we're talking about in Southern California, Inglewood, there's a place in Inglewood called Motherland Music, which is an African, mostly percussion store. So they have like djembes and like ballophones, and like I have a ballophone, I got a mini djembe, I got an udu there. I bought a dundun there like a couple months ago.
I love when you start saying the names of
it's my dude. That's the best place. It's funny because it's very African centric. there is this like one Japanese dude there that like is so into the culture that he like teaches the classes there. I'm like, it's so sick. It's such a hub. It's such a community of music lovers and people who love the culture and like people who want to like become or like delve into the culture and learn the music of the people. And they make a ton of they make a bunch of the instruments there. Like that dune I got, they made that shit in house.
Did it make the noise dune dune? Like dune dune? Like is
Yeah,
that
it
what they
sounds
call
like
it
a
that?
it's a dune. It's like a little two-sided drum, and it's like goat or calfskin, whatever.
Two-sided dune dune, I get
Yeah,
it.
and it's so I love that place, and it's but like whenever I go there, I'd get shit. I'd like hang out, and you know the forum's here, so that's like everyone goes to the forum, but like I'd want to explore because I like you want to explore other. If you're not like a total pussy, you want to like explore other parts of a city or town that you go to. And Inglewood, doesn't have the greatest reputation, but it's also like it's closer. It gets closer to like inland LA and like South Central and stuff like that. So like you're in proximity to like Lemire Park and all these like hubs of like black culture that are really interesting that people are afraid of because it's like, oh, we know Compton, you get shot at or whatever,
Mm.
which is true because I've
Shut up. It's
it's
true.
true, but like there's it's more than just danger. It's like there's really interesting culture there. So like
Bro, I don't
I
even know what's
dude,
going on out there anymore, man.
yeah, it's
Feel
still
like
cool.
feel like
Lemire
an
Park
alien.
is still fucking banging. It's sick. World stage is there. It's sick.
Yeah.
Um, but like Inglewood's good. You get food there. I think was it Mama B's or whatever the soul food. They have a drive through. I forgot what it's called.
Drive through.
Yeah,
There's Doolins. They ain't got no fucking drive
never
through
been to
though.
Doolin's.
That's the place. Right behind the flower shop off what's that? LeBray in Manchester?
Okay. Oh, I can't. I know where that is.
Mm-hmm.
Never been there though.
Line out the door every time you go.
We need to do. We'll do that. We need to go get some more brown stew chicken
No,
again.
brown stew chicken is always the move that we're in Inglewood.
That's my jam.
All right, and like, let me just give me a second here. Let me just talk to the crowd for a second.
Talk to the crowd.
I don't know if y'all can see me in my eyes.
Give them a sermon. You got it.
What did y'all do to all the Jamaicans in Long Beach? Where did they go? What have you done to them? Am I not supposed to let y'all know that I'm half Jamaican? Are y'all gonna do something to me? I can't find a fucking Scotch bonnet pepper in Long Beach to save my grandmother's life. I'm looking for fucking Jamaican food out here like I'm looking for Carmen San Diego.
All the Jamaicans got lighter and they all work at grocery co-ops.
Bro, like, what? Yeah, like they all switched and became Trader Joe's guys. Paper or plastic? You want to save the world? Choose paper, my love. Nah, bro. I don't know what they did to us, but and it's crazy because it's so affordable out here. It's right by the Bumbleclad Beach.
Yeah.
I mean, like for state, but we don't see no Jamaicans out here. We can't go no party. Can't go no Bumbleclad brown stew
The
chicken.
closest thing you get to Jamaican culture here is like, I think Shades of Africa off of 4th Street has like a Bob Marley section or something. It's like that's that sort of thing. But there's like true, like real
Something happened, bro.
Jamaican culture. You don't really see that because there used to be a Jamaican place off of Anaheim, and it went under during COVID, and they got replaced by a admittedly good Cuban place.
Bro.
But there's not any
Systematically,
yeah.
bro. My people were removed from Long Beach. I just want to know why. Am I starting something? Is this something? Is this a conspiracy?
Where's my goat? Give me some goat. I want some goat.
Comment section. If you can find the Jamaicans in Long Beach, I'll give you $1.
If you could find some like good Jamaican stuff in Southern California in general, let us know. Cause
I know where good shit is in Southern California.
I mean,
it's the Long Beach that I can't find. Shit.
where's the new stuff?
Inglewood?
I mean, like we've been to the Inglewood stuff, but like,
oh, there's stuff that I haven't showed you in Inglewood.
Oh, you gotta show me some more Inglewood. You
Yeah.
show me.
There's a lot of Jamaican food places in Inglewood.
You show me the Inglewood stuff. I will show you all the Asian stuff along Sawtell,
Hell yeah.
which is like all the fucking sushis and bobas and all that stuff.
down.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Hit a bang bang, hit a bang bang, get some Jamaican food, and then wash it down with some boba. Spit the
Jamaican food,
pearls
wash
out.
it down with some boba, then go to the forum and watch fucking whoever's at the forum, Harry Styles. And I go,
Didn't they have a fight at the forum not too long ago?
Bellator, whenever they come to LA, they always do stuff at the forum.
Bellator's pretty popping.
Bellator's popping.
You wouldn't
Patricio
need parking
Pitbull's.
either. My mom lived across, like right there.
Yeah.
We could walk.
You know what's wild? Patricio Pitbull. I think he's trying for. He will, if he wins, I think he'll become the first triple champ. And that's
Yeah.
and everyone hates on Bellator, but Patricio Pitbull's a fucking monster.
Yeah, if he was in the UFC, he'd be cutting heads.
He's so good. But he's fighting at bantamweight now, and I think he's gonna fight Sergio Pettis's brother, Sergio Pettis, the little Pettis. That gets good, but like Patricio Pitbull is like
Ouch.
I know everyone's like, if it's not UFC, it's not quality, but like PFL's has some monsters in it. I know Rob Wilkinson. I think he just got, bro, what's it called? He just got I don't know. There's like a whole steroid thing going on, or like tainted supplement thing going on with PFL. Like a bunch of those people got suspensions, which is weird. So I feel like that many people getting suspensions means it's probably tainted supplements. But Rob Wilkinson, besides losing to Izzy in that first UFC fight, he's been murdering people. He's been like looking really good. Aubrey Mercer is like in 155. He was in the UFC, didn't do super well. Came out like left. Oh, he did pretty well in the UFC, but he lost a couple times. Came to PFL, he like looks like he's coming to his own. So it's like it doesn't mean that people outside of the UFC aren't good. It's maybe it's been enough years where they finally become good or like grown into themselves as fighters.
You kind of have to do that, right?
Yeah, because like
same thing as like being like a rap star. Like you just you're not ready for the lights until you're ready for the lights, bro.
Yeah, totally.
Something happens.
Nemkov just beat Romero. Yoel Romero.
I just fucking.
And I know Yoel Romero used to be like
pulls an ingrown hair out. That shit hurts so fucking bad.
Fucking grown hair.
Ouch.
Yoel Romero, I know he fought at middleweight most of the time. And in Bellator he's fighting like heavyweight, but like okay, I also know it's like the thing that pisses me off about Yoel is like he does this weird lull thing where he's like there's just no activity on his part and he just like waits for certain shots and he
what I think, bro?
Does this fucking like drunken master thing, but he got fucked up.
You know what I think?
He just got fucked up by Nemkov.
You know what I think happens to him in those moments? And I'm being 100% real. It's the same shit George St. Pierre was talking about, bro. The aliens, they were trying to come and talk to my brain. And he was really just talking about CTS, like he just fucking was losing track of time. Don't in those moments.
Wait, CTE or
CTE? Yeah, CTE. Like he's got fucking brain trauma, bro.
I mean, you think like do you think
he's been getting hit in the head since he was 5?
Yeah, Yoel has that weird, like he's a Cuban experiment for sure.
Like that brain's been shook around in there. Like, you see him running with his neck stiff.
Yeah,
he just ran like Frankenstein. Like his neck didn't move, but the rest of his body was just pumping harder than everything, bro.
Maybe it's weird because Yoel, when he's on, he's so fun to watch.
Yeah,
he's such a weirdo, but like he's just like he's so.
Thank you for Jesus.
He doesn't care about engaging at all because he's like, I'm Cuban. I guess they gotta like. I don't fucking know, but like he doesn't do shit, and then he thinks he wins. He doesn't. Yeah, there's no activity, and he's like, oh, I won that shit, and it's so silly, and it pisses me off because he's such a like, if you beat Cael Sanderson twice in a wrestling match, like you are one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, bro, he competes. He competes.
He was an Olympic caliber wrestler, and you could see that in the UFC fights that he was in, but he just didn't do shit, and it's so weird. It doesn't make any sense why he wasn't actively.
The Izzy fight was a fucking
Yeah.
travesty.
He's always just waiting and just like doing the cha cha or whatever the fuck he's doing.
Izzy
wasn't-
fight, it was really just like
It wasn't bad on Izzy's part. Everyone's like Izzy didn't do shit, but it's like he got cracked in the first round, and then he played it smart. I don't fault him for just like
no, it ain't
working.
Izzy fault, man. It was fucking.
It was Yoel's for sure. Because like Izzy was still going for it. He was like occasional jab, working leg kicks, moving out of the way of Yoel rushes, like the occasional Yoel rush. So he played it smart. There's like that's the thing I hate about fans. They're like if it's not Chris Leben level action all the time, just like going in there and like possibly getting your head chopped off, then it's not fun. Is he smart? And he's a champion, which means if he wants to maintain the money that he's getting, he needs to play it smart. So like that's, and I hate the term casual, but that is casual shit. If you don't like Izzy because he's boring, that means you're casual. It does, because it's like he's one of the most sophisticated strikers in the UFC, if not the most sophisticated striker in the UFC.
It's just like anything else. Like after it gets to a certain level of like advancement,
Yeah.
you have to earn your right to understand what's happening.
And also, if you get to a certain level in the UFC where you're fighting just top 5 guys all the time, it's going to be a lot closer than when you're fighting scrubs.
Bro, like if you're sitting there watching chess and you know how the game chess is played,
Yeah.
it's way different than knowing how chess is competitively played.
Yeah.
Same thing with fighting. Like everybody knows what a punch is, everybody knows what a kick is. That's why people feel like they can throw conjecture in and like say, "Oh, I would have done this," or "This is what sounds good in the moment."
Yeah.
But like until you've like fought a human being full tilt,
Yeah.
and did that shit 20 times with the lights on you, bro, you just don't know. You just don't know.
I think like to have a truthful like perspective on fighting at all,
You had to have competed.
you have to have competed, or at least like
One.
like fought trained or fought a little bit. And I'm not saying like street fights don't count.
Street fights count to me.
They count in a way where it's like what beating people up or being beat up is, but
yeah,
it's like
they don't count in the way of understanding martial arts. They count in the way of like knowing how to defend yourself for sure.
oh for sure. Like it's I'd rather be in a fight and not know what the fuck I'm doing than like be in my first fight.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to know, like you can't just say a bunch of shit on the internet and then just like I've never trained, I've never fought, I'm just a fan.
Bro,
Oh, you have the right to do that, but then it's like you're kind of an asshole.
I wish there was like, because this freedom of speech shit is crazy, right?
Yeah.
People take that shit too far. I wish there was like a clause where it's like, if you say anything threatening or you say anything out of the ordinary,
Yeah.
like towards this person to provoke them, they have the right to fuck you up. Because people wouldn't talk to each other like they do nowadays.
I mean, some places have that.
It'd be nice. I would.
You know,
love to see it.
Washington has the rule. I mean, that's why that Golden Phoenix guy, the superhero guy, like that was his whole shtick. Because Washington has like that gentleman's agreement thing where if you are both drunk or whatever, if you agree to fight each other and there are like witnesses around you, that will say like, yeah, they said they're down to fight each other.
That's it, bro.
Did they have gentleman's handshake? Like that's a law.
As
you
it
could do
should
that.
be. There should, bro. Because like,
Yeah.
that's the thing that's missing. Like, we don't like. There's no laws that allow us to police ourselves.
Yeah.
And not to say that we should decline this thing back to the days of like Fisticuffs. Shameless plug for our podcast name. But like at the same time, there's certain scenarios where that kind of shit should at least be facilitated in a safe manner. Like, I would love to be at every fight that I could ever see him, but hey, I got boxing gloves.
Yeah.
Throw him on, throw some knock a tooth out, maybe knock him unconscious, but he's gonna get up. He's not gonna be fucking rocks. He's gonna be all cut up and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's another thing where it's like, what casuals don't understand is like the reality of fighting. The reality of fighting is like,
you're gonna get hurt no matter what.
Bro, fuck that no matter what. You're guaranteed to get hurt. in some kind of way.
Even in training, it's like you're gonna get rocked at least a couple times.
And like you can and like you taught me this, like you can throw out your fucking knee running.
Yeah.
Foot in the wrong place at the wrong time with your weight in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like it's such a thin balance,
Physicality
a
is
thin walk.
it's such a weird thing because you could be on top of the world one day and then it's like, and it doesn't, like, you could hurt yourself in any which way. You could sprain something accidentally if you're playing like a pickup game or whatever. You could get hit by a car. You could do whatever. So it is like, even if you're in great shape, it will always be a precarious situation where I don't fucking know what's gonna happen. I might like, maybe if I can, and this is like a completely different story, but like I at a the place I used to work in, like one of my former jobs, one of my buddies there was like, yeah, dude, like my cousin was driving down the five and he had a convertible, and it was like one of those freak accidents where like a hubcap came off of another car, bounced off like the divider, came at him, hit him in the neck, he died.
Mm.
Like that sort of shit. So it's like you could get hurt or killed in any way or maimed in any way in any situation, and you don't know because like
Oh shit.
I've like just
For real?
you know me, I both of my knees are fucked up. This knee was a freak accident, um, and you don't know when or where it's going to happen. You don't know what other extenuating circumstances that will make things better or worse can happen. When I started having all like my weird health stuff and started having like all the weird, I have a bunch of weird gut stuff, so that leads to certain inflammation, which inflammation affects joints a lot in general. So like I'd have weird like stomach stuff, which is why I've had to adjust my diet and I had to adjust like taking certain medications to help deal with that stuff. But like when I was dealing with that stuff, I'd get inflammation and it would always be in my joints. So that would be worse because my joints are already compromised because of my injuries. And then I'd feel inflammation in my joints. So stuff would hurt even more. So you don't know exactly what is going on or like what is going to affect what. So you just got like, you know,
That's
you,
a,
you also can't worry about it too. You also can't like live your life being like, oh, I don't want, I'm gonna worry 24/7 about my knee getting torn even more or whatever happening. So
as I was gonna
yeah,
ask you, like, and we're getting pretty close to the time here, nigga, because I got to wake up at 8 and
yo,
go
me
to the
too.
dojo, and you got shit to do too.
I got work
I was
done.
gonna say, like, as a closing statement, do you have any advice for like martial artists, especially like younger martial artists who are dealing with injuries and like getting put out of like not being able to train and like having to approach martial arts from a different physicality? Like, what advice would you give them?
If I'm gonna say anything about like approaching martial arts from a different physicality or dealing with injuries or doing anything like that, um, don't feel bad about it. Don't like, don't don't worry about it too much. Don't feel bad about it. Don't make yourself feel guilty that you're not going to be able to work out as much or do whatever, because you're not always going to be able to, uh, you know when these things will happen. Some like any sort of injury or medical or physical ailment can happen at any time. So when it does happen, take care of yourself. Take the time off that you need. Um, you could find workarounds for physicality that will help you maintain that energy of being physical. So it's like if you hurt your leg or whatever, you could, find ways where you could still work out that don't affect that particular leg or particular joint. Um, don't feel too sad about it. If you feel too sad about it, you're going to bum yourself out. You're going to affect yourself in a way that will, you'll feel that depressive state, and it'll be even worse than just having a bad leg because now you have a bad mind, and when you have a bad mind, it's such a deterrent from maintaining your physicality and from like feeling good and feeling like you could do more even though you're injured. So really try to keep a positive mindset. Find workarounds where you could work out full body in a way where you're not affecting or like hurting the affected joints, and just like be good to yourself. Don't blame yourself. Don't don't be like, oh, if I did something differently, it wouldn't have happened. It still happened. You're not like, you can't change the fact that it happened. So live with it, be happy, keep a positive mindset, and try to work around it. Still keep physical without affecting the affected part of your body, and just, yeah, just be good to yourself. Don't try to blame yourself or take it too personally, because you go down like a really dark path at that point. Where I've done that before, where the first time I really injured my knee, it really, because I was so physical in my youth and I was like doing all these things. It was like it's breakdancing and doing parkour and like being kind of an idiot, just like being like a dumb kid and like training and fighting and stuff. And then when you have your first major injury, like the thing I was dealing with, you're like, oh shit, am I ever gonna be able to do anything like that again? And you fall into a dark path, and it's super easy to fall into that dark path, but it's the least beneficial thing that can happen. So like, be positive, still maintain your physicality while like acknowledging your injury, be around people who will support you, and just keep going for it. But in a smart way. Don't hurt yourself anymore. Just, you know, make don't completely stop physical activity just because you got hurt. Maintain it in a smart way. Don't hurt what your injury is. Don't further exacerbate what your injury is, and yeah, be good to yourself. That's all I could say.
Be good to yourself, America.